Welcome to the tutorial for ATAT, the Adipose Tissue Analysis Toolkit. So in this tutorial, we'll go over the installation and basic operation of the program. Now, the program is an ImageJ plugin, so the first thing you'll have to do, if you haven't done this already, is install ImageJ. And once this is done, you'll want to install ATAT from the GitHub here and download it as a jar file. Now you can find this under releases here. The manual and the instructions flowchart is also included. So this is the jar file that you'll want to download, and once you have this downloaded, you'll simply drag and drop this into your jars file, your jars folder of your ImageJ directory. And after this is done, it should be correctly installed, and you can access ATAT by opening up ImageJ. And once this loads, we can go into the Plugins tab, which you can see right here. And we can find ATAT here, and here are the functions it is capable of. This last one can be ignored. Now, ATAT has a few main features. There's Analyze, which allows you to analyze cell images in batches. Settings allows you to set parameters, and the ROI-assisted analysis setup allows for selection of regions of inclusion and exclusion in an analysis. There are also a number of tools, which are described in more detail in the manual, but these allow you to prepare your images for proper analysis. Now, going into the settings, we can set our parameters here. The settings are described in detail in the manual once again. And so we'll click OK to set them, and we'll click OK again, and OK again, and now ATAT settings should be correctly set. Now, before running an analysis, you'll need a dedicated directory for your images. Now, there should be nothing else in this directory, just the images you plan to analyze. And note that all of these images should be in a TIFF format. And for information on that and how to convert your images to a TIFF format, please see the manual. Now, you'll also want to make sure that your images are correctly scaled and that black background in ImageJ is disabled. Now, once again, you can see this in the manual, but I will go through disabling black background. So if you go here into Process and Binary, Options, you want to make sure that this is unchecked. Now, once this is done, we can click Analyze on the ATAT interface. So Analyze here, and it should prompt us to pick our images. So we'll go into our image directory here. We will click it once to select it, click the Select button, and then we will go into it again and click our output folder where we will have all of our data output. Now, once again, we will click Select, and we will wait for ATAT to run and analyze. Now, the analysis has concluded, and you'll notice it says that one image could not be analyzed. In this case, this is on purpose. I have one image here that was not meant to be analyzed. It's too small for that. But now we can close all of these pop-ups that were triggered by ATAT's operation, and we can see our output here. We have an Adipose ROIs file, which contains the analyzed particles as ImageJ ROIs in a zip format. We have our data in CSV format. We can find it just by opening this up. And you can see here the results of our ATAT analysis. And this image, once again, did not work, so it just says NA for all the columns. And finally, we have the technical files, which contains the technical files used for the analysis, in case this is something you need to come back to. Or if you would like to look at the fibrotic lines, you can also do that for an image. And you can see here, this is a mask for one of the images. So now let's perform a more complex analysis. We'll delete our output here, and we will now perform an ROI-assisted analysis. So we'll go into the ROI-assisted analysis setup here. We will select our input directory, and it should now give us images and prompt us to select ROIs. Now this image is once again not meant to be analyzed, so we'll just press next on that, and now we should have our first image that we want to analyze. Now here, let's say we will select the freehand tool, and for example, we want to analyze this region here. So this is what we'll select, and now we will press T to add this to our ROI manager. And you can see here that we now have added this to the manager. And so now we'll press next to save this ROI and bring up the next image. Once again, say we want to select this region here, avoiding the image artifacts. And so we'll select it like so. Now we'll press next, save. And now since there are no more images left, it'll close, and the data is now stored in this analytic ROIs folder. So if you want to erase that data, you can just delete this folder here. But now that we've done this, we can run the ATAT analysis. So we're going to analyze. Once again, we will select our input directory. And likewise, we will select our output directory. And now we'll wait for the analysis to finish. Okay, so now that our analysis is finished, let's go view the results. Now, you may recall I pulled up a mask for one of the images before. I'll pull up this mask again, and you can see that this time it only has the region we selected. And if we want to take a look at this, we can pull up this image by dragging it into the image shade window. And let's go back into our Adipose ROIs here, and we can drag this on. And now this has pulled up all the image shade ROIs. We can click show all, and you can see that this is the area that we have selected, and it's been analyzed. And now this data is in CSV format as well, if that's how we prefer to look at it. So I hope this helped with the operation of ATAT. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Our contact information is down here on the GitHub. And thank you for using our program.